So we need to figure out, especially for us spiritual beings, especially, for those who sometimes we feel like we're not enough in this universe or we're too much for this universe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like we're saying, we got to embrace that evil side too to live. You feel me?
Gotcha, gotcha.
So that's
So,
what we kind of was building on. Like,
mm,
what is evil and should we embrace that? Matter of fact, I'll even start with the question for all of you. Is human nature naturally evil?
mm. Yeah, that's why it matters the viewpoint we each come from, I guess. Because my viewpoint, like how I was looking at the whole conversation, is because I'm first, I'm Christian, but I was also, before I was Christian, I was a man of science. So I'm like, I just think humi- humanity innately, this how we are. Nobody teaches a baby how to steal, but how a baby know how to steal from birth? Like, how do you come out the womb already like enabled to corrupt? Is this like in your nature to corrupt? Like, is this something that is part of us until we come to the knowledge that, from whatever you believe on how to maneuver this thing called life, you don't get it until you of a certain age. But innately, like, we come out just just to this like horrible, you know. That's what I think. But I could, I like to hear you guys' input on those things.
So what you think, Kay, before I go in? Because I kind of agree with him, but I'm gonna go after. Go ahead, Kay.
So you asking like if we supposed to be evil? I guess what's the question? My bad.
No, no problem. So kinda in that way, is human nature naturally evil? Like, are we born
Yeah, cause look,
competitive?
if you
Are
do
we
the words
born?
backwards, if you
Yeah.
do evil backwards, it's to live. So that's the way to live. That's the only way, not the only way, but that's part of the survival mode. So I think, yeah, before we got all governed and institutionalized and shit, man, yeah, that was the natural way. Like I used to say to you and so too, like there always has to be a taker. You know what I mean? Like we're all like there's always gonna have to be the group or even the person that takes because we gotta eat, G, and that's what they say, like G, like whatever it takes by any means, you know what I mean? So that's just my little piece on that. What you got to say about it?
What I would kind of say about that is I can agree. We were just kind of talking about that on Instagram. It's just, of course, the word evil rearranged is live, and I think we come out the womb again on this physical plane that's ruled by the demiurge, that is ruled by material gain. This universe to me is ruled by material gain. So when we come out of the womb, brother, we are just naturally put into a world because our parents being our first teachers, they're already going to teach us competitiveness. Oh, you got to be the best baby. Everything that we're taught is the slave and slave master relationship. With our food, it's this food must serve this purpose. With our parents, it's you must serve me because I'm older than you or I have authority over you. Instead of we don't let our children or nothing just be free to do whatever they choose to do, right? So we
Mm.
already build barriers and restrictions on our kids, which will automatically make them competitive, and it automatically generates that mindset of I don't want to be controlled, so I'm gonna do what I have to do to control. You feel
Uh,
me?
yeah, I don't know, like because it's been a minute. I used to get into a lot of apologetics, and this is like a topic of apologetics if you wanted to argue a statement. But I kind of just kind of took a backseat, so I don't really have the right knowledge what I need. But I guess I don't know. I still don't agree. It's like some of it, like you're born to be the best. Yeah, the parents want to give you certain things you need, the tools and stuff, but then they like still like they're like we still push beyond that as far as the evilness. Like I don't know, like it's just something, and there's just inside of you. That, like people are drawn to that the corruption and stuff. Like even when you have enough, it's not enough. That's why I said like I don't personally believe in like as far as what you would call it. What is that guy's name? And I know you probably would know. He said, how is his saying? He be on YouTube and he'll say peace and but it's what is the teaching though? I'm trying to think of the
Ralph,
teaching.
Ralph
Huh?
Smart or nah?
No, no,
Not him.
no, it's not him. But like, it's just a teaching of the energy and stuff like that. But like he talks about, and I'm trying not to lose my track because I tend to do that because I just be talking too much. But
Yeah, nah, I'm the same way. It's
just
it's hard. It's hard when you know a lot of info, bro, and it's like when
because it gets
Trying to
everywhere.
know like when to use it and shit. Yeah, like
facts, facts. Nah, real shit.
I think that's an issue. No, that I don't want to get into that. It's an issue of like because I'm pretty sure we was born years before the age of social media. We had no problem staying on task. That's an issue of we just can't stay on task because of all the interference in our brain all day. But um, it just
yeah.
I'm trying to get to the point. You guys can keep going. I'll get it. I forgot his name.
I agree. Like I wonder if I'm curious to how like parenting and raising like the next generation would be without the age of social media. Like even though it is like
Facts.
I say like the age of information and shit to where we literally have it at our hands. Like now you can literally Google on how to not how to raise a baby, but like shit to do to raise like how to change a diaper, when to feed, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So
Yeah.
we do is it better that we started relying on shit like that, or did we lose our naturality and disconnection from the source by tapping into that instead of just realizing for ourselves? Because it's all of that shit, like shit as far as like raising kids, is all like other people's experience. It's just like what works for them. You can't Google like how to raise a scientist, how to raise a president, you know what I'm saying? None of that shit. But I'm curious. Maybe y'all might have some thoughts to it. Like, do you think that um we could have like we would be raised differently if there was no like media? I mean, there really wasn't, but it was still kind of like the age of like technology and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, did that interfere with our naturality, especially like people, especially like black people?
I,
It
I,
did.
it did to me. I agree with the brother Arise because, and AK, I agree with you because all of the radiation coming from our phones is messing with our brain cells, especially all the chemtrails in the sky with different elements in it. It's messing with our memory. It's the cause of Alzheimer's, things like that that we don't really pay attention to though. Things that are a blessing but a curse. So we'll say, hey, this new world needs new technology, but not really. The ancients had all this technology, but they used it for different purposes. We knew how to work electricity. We knew how to communicate telepathically or telegraphically through to other continents and things like that. But we didn't use cell phones and things like that. We used literally alchemy, but in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So we use water, we use different type of elements to get our message to different people, bro. And then back
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, everyone was a philosopher. Me and you talked about this, AK. everyone was a scientist back then. Everyone was an astrologer.
That's
Not
why
just
like I
a
learned
few.
that with like stoicism, like how everybody just had like different ways and different teachings and forms on like how to truly be yourself and truly be pure and useful to the world and shit, being fruitful. So
Right,
yeah, so
right.
now you got people that call themselves like social media influencers and shit like that. Do they hold the same equation to a philosopher?
I'm gonna
Sure,
let
I
them.
don't know. I don't know.
I don't think so because that shit like
No.
we don't unless we like okay like you know I know you're not a social media influencer but I know that you're a life coach, spiritual coach, and teacher and all of that shit but in real life, but then you know you put it on the media to inspire.
Yeah.
So
So let me say this because you
I
made a great point. Let me say this. See, philosophy, and I study a lot of philosophy because that's what I love. Philosophy is bringing new patterns of thought to the world. Philosophy is a new way of thinking. That's what philosophy really is. So that's why, AK, we talked a lot about this as well. That's why they killed a lot of philosophers. That's why philosophers were condemned in ancient times sometimes, because when you're going outside the collective thinking, again, being outside the box, and when you're going outside the collective thinking, you'll be considered an outcast today. You
mm,
know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
When really you shouldn't be considered an outcast. You should just be considered a philosopher of your own self, and you think for yourself, bro. But we live in a world today where no one thinks for themselves, really. So, like you asked, the social media influencers that we see, these niggas are getting their information from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas ain't really creating their own ways of
nah
thinking and
man,
making it, you know what I'm
like
saying?
yeah you're right, we was talking about
But
this,
they,
we
I don't
out
know.
because
They ain't
that's
philosophy.
what I was saying, like Idris Elba was saying like the momentum Monday and shit, bro, like you know like you know you was on Creative Knowledge YouTube, bro, like you don't have to get out here and lie to these millions of people like I'm starting to do Momentum Monday and shit. Like bro, stop lying, man. You was on the YouTube peeping that shit. But I mean, okay, if he did discover that on his own, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, props to bro, whatever. But does it make it okay? Yeah, it can still be your philosophy, and like people don't have to follow that shit. So at what point is it past a philosophy? Then okay, think of like the hot girl shit, the city girl. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Is that philosophy on how to
It's
truly
a
be a
form. It's a
woman?
form
Like
of philosophy. It's a form. It's sad, but it's the thing.
It's a
he
form.
said,
Good, good, good point. Keep going on that, brother, because that it is a form of it. It's a form, G.
okay, so then I'm gonna keep going. At what point is the difference from philosophy to almost like hypnotism and witchcraft and putting a spell on the motherfucker and shit like that? Like if you get on these radio waves, these electromagnetic waves and repeat shit, I'm a hot girl, you know what I'm saying? Like bro, that shit is getting these motherfuckers hypnotized, and then it changed their train of thought. So then they're out
Hey,
looking for situations to be this
especially,
kind. Same thing with
especially,
like rap music,
listen,
drill music.
especially putting it to certain vibrational tones in your music. So you're
Hmm
100 with that. That's why it truly is spell casting. That's why in movies, in shows, there's always a soundtrack, correct? There'll always be
Yeah,
a soundtrack to shows and movies because that's how programming, your subconscious is only programmed in three ways: trauma, repetition, and like new feelings. So of course, you know, when the hot girl shit came out or whatever, that was something new for females. Like just like how this alpha male stuff is going around, and it's like kind of new to people, even though it's not new information. It's new to people because it's a different philosophy. It's niggas saying we don't care about these females. You know what I'm saying? Be a man for yourself. Woo woo. Same with
yeah.
females. These females
Oh,
the mentality of fuck a nigga, get some money out of them. Like it ain't about nothing else but getting some money out of these niggas. And females are adopting that because repetition, 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 and then they start to see it that it's cool now. You feel me?
I think that's the thing they try to do only because they tired of men being the only ones doing it. So I think it's like they just starting to act like us after a while because they just tired of being done dirty. And so it's just a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
it's a
That's
reverse effect. But I don't think it's like you said it's not new. It's just a new generation being brought to it. I guess I mean because Trina was saying some of the same stuff, and then you go back behind Trina, you got to go back farther. It's there.
Lil Kim, yeah,
Uh,
facts,
it
facts.
it's just a lot of the different. And it all comes from a lot of the upbringing too. A lot of the people who have those types of thoughts they don't have the best upbringing and stuff like that. So that's why they buy into the whole idea. But
yeah, that's what Key was
man,
saying
I need to
before.
gather
Like
my thoughts.
it's like we all got different experiences, everybody live different
Man,
lives and shit like that too. So I don't know. Maybe people adapt to that shit because it works for them. Again, like different environments and upbringings and things like that. I'm really into okay. I looked into this recently and shit. We all know, this whole pedophile sex trafficking shit that's kind of like the talk right now. Uh, but I was looking up because I know like Lady Gaga is. I'm not trying to talk about her right now, but just kind of like the symbolism of it. But like, I forget where it comes from. I think it's the Bible. Maybe y'all can help me out. Where like the sound is to like
Yeah, go ahead.
damn,
I
like
know.
surrender yourself or something like that.
You said the
Or it,
like
yeah,
the
like yeah.
Yeah, yeah, facts, facts.
So I guess it's the opposite or the demonic way to say like like repeatedly, like instead of it's ah. And she got this video where she just like saying it the whole time and shit like that. So they say that that's uh like demonic portal opening and low vibration frequency shit like that, real occultism shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is such thing as Joey Badass was saying this. It's a really good point. There is such thing as ear benders out here and that's part of the influence, inspiration, and hypnotism, witchcraft, shit like that too. Like there are real ear benders out here. That's
Facts.
why they tell you
Ooh, earring.
hallucination.
Yeah.
That's why they tell you like even though hallucination is they mainly associated with what you see, but you can hallucinate and still hear some shit that's not there too. I know y'all have heard where like your ears are randomly be ringing and shit like that. That's ear bending hallucination. So
Yeah.
that's real shit. So like I was saying again, when you get that shit on like a larger scale, like a radio and broadcast and shit like that, yeah, it's gonna hit people way harder. And it's you
Facts,
know, in my
facts,
philosophy, still a form of hypnotism.
facts. No, like you mentioned, radio waves, frequency waves, and things like that. And like you said, I mean, we're not in tune with the natural healing vibrations of Earth anymore. We're into all the demonizing music, and that's why I say America is ran by war. America is propped up by promoting, war and thugism and things like that. That's why all the rappers, the ones that truly be on Young Thugs and you know what I'm saying, Killer Mikes and shit like that. And it's all about how you can necessarily like not I think subtract from society for lack of better words. You feel me? I think that's
Okay.
why they're on, because if we can put a brother in a place where he's in a place where he can of course, get his message across, which is, you know, destroy women, destroy your own black culture, destroy your own black people. And then if we can get him to promote another nigga that's gonna say the same thing, just in a better way or a different way, why not be putting these niggas on? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I say like
That kind of tie back to my bad, my bad.
no, you
He's
good.
keep speaking, hey, Mr. AK.
Yeah, I was looking at uh Young Dolph, man. He promoting his mixtape album, whatever, and it's called Rich Slave. I'm like, bro, like why would you do that? Like you could come up with nothing better, bro. Like, what do you mean, Rich Slave?
Facts,
And
facts.
that's the shit Ye was talking about, bro. We still slaves. Like we love that shit. Like it don't matter if you got it or don't have it. Like,
That's facts.
cause if it was like anybody else out here, like, oh yeah, go get my new mixtape, Rich Slave, and they was white Latino, we'll be told the hell up.
Facts.
This shit bogus is racist. Like, we take this shit from our own people too, bro. I hate like the dumb ignorant shit. I ain't gonna lie, like, I indulge in it, the Chief Keef, the shit like that, rap music, but then I also like balance it with,
Yeah.
some Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, you know what I mean? Like I'm in all realms of airbender music and shit like that, but maybe
But
that's just part of the balance though, is the ignorant shit, I think.
I think that's just all, and that's why I believe in. Before I got saved, I was, I was inside. That's why I believe in the Bible. I do so well because it's not just any kind of book. It don't matter what you believe. You can believe it came from a white man or whatever. But one thing that book does do is let you know the human condition. If you run that back, like it shows, like as far as like how America and certain things we do and how that comes back to hunt. Like, while we see a lot of people are just so greedy, but our country was built on those rooted in those types of things. So you're
Mm,
gonna reap the harvest of whatever you planted. So all those things generationally keep coming back. So that, you know, and that's why you got a lot of rappers, and no matter what ethnicity they come from, they don't care. They'll do it dirty because the country is like, do you dirty, no matter. As long as I come out winning, that's all that matters.
that's what
And
I was saying earlier. It's
that's a
always gonna be
character
the
flaw.
takers. It's always gonna be somebody that have to take,
It-
like, what
you
they.
said what?
That's why I say, like, there's always gonna be the takers, because you'll have somebody like, oh, I have to take your money, or I have to take your idea because I have to still make it work for me. I still have to succeed and feed my family and myself and things like that. So there are all it's always going to be like a, uh what I want to say, not like a, yeah, just like a taking force. That energy is always going to be around. Even things that are natural to the earth, we got to eat. We still have to take from them. But that's the whole phrase of the give and take. They tell you, I guess. What you
Facts.
take, you give back.
Facts. And it's like literally, bro, we gotta understand that it's either own or be owned nowadays. Like it's literally that. And like y'all said, like we're literally modern day slaves, but we don't realize it because again, like me and you talked about last time, AK, with the Hegelian dialectic, is the government will give you money and all that, but then they will still keep you, you know what I'm saying, paying for lights and shit. So they dished out all of this money and the stimulus checks and all of that.
Yeah, the Batman Joker.
Instead of telling y'all you'll get 6 months free of ComEd. You know what I'm saying? Things that you are really,
Mm.
because they know that people are slaves. They know if we give you guys money, you'll just go spend it and put it right back in our hands. But if they gave us free energy, if we were able to create free energy or get free energy, free water sources, Come on now. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand America uses Hollywood and they use the African community or the Afro community, the black community, to set the trend for the global population. That's why everywhere in the world rap music is popular. These niggas are going to perform in Paris. These niggas don't even speak the language of that, the you know what I'm saying, the actual natural language of that ethnicity group, but they can go and perform there and make
Yeah.
a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
So sold out arenas in places like China and Germany and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah. So are we? I think I might have seen
That ties
it
back to
was a
what he said earlier,
conversation, but
though, how we started. Like
yeah,
it
I
started
think
like
I
it's
seen
a character flaw. That's
uh
like he's talking about how people and how we do each other dirty and stuff like that. It's just like is that evil at that point? You know how they're using a culture and people don't even speak the culture and you know is it still survival at that point? You don't even have to survive anymore. You're just doing it. You know, at that point, is it? I call that innately evil, but
mm. It was an interview with Chance the Rapper and Charlemagne, and they were saying like, how do we preserve the culture? How do we keep the culture to ourselves? But we got to stop displaying it everywhere. We got to like learn how to keep it by us, for us, and things like that. So how do we do that? Because you have some people part of the culture that say it's a melting pot. It's for everybody. It's supposed to be shared because we get just like they get ideas from us, we get ideas from them. Which I personally feel like that's how I feel when I get into like the gun shit. Is like we stuck to the natural weaponry and things like that. Of course, we were going to advance with time, but you know, I can't, and not that this what is not that this is what it's about, but I know like I wouldn't have these guns in my house if it wasn't for the white man going to ABC. If he didn't, you know what I'm saying, introduce the gun to the pilgrims or Africans and Haitians and shit like that. So is is that part of their culture then? Do we associate guns and weapon use to them?
No, sir. No,
Because now
no,
you
they
go
stole
out
it from the Asians.
now you go out to like a yeah, true, very true. Yeah.
I
You
agree.
go out now to like a toy store and let's say you buying your kid a bow and arrow. Eight, I'm not even gonna say nine. Maybe like 7 to 8 times out of 10, this toy is gonna come with like Native American like wrapping around it, the little
Yeah,
cardboard that come behind it
yeah,
and shit like that. But you get
yeah,
a gun, like a toy gun, and it's got, the camo all over it. It's got the flag all over the box and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like real American symbol behind it and shit
yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
But then the
Ooh,
toy will say like made in China and shit. So not
hey,
even that, we still, making our guns to started to at least.
hey, we
But
starting to.
yeah,
I think, bro, you asked a good question, and how can we
I think the
start?
brother Mike is on mute.
I think you made a great point about how can we start, and I think it just will start from investing in our own family, bro. And like you said, like why does the black community? Why do we talk separation without revolution, though? You know what I'm saying? We were naturally warriors. Everything happens by force. You feel me? When you want to move forward, you have to move by force, though. And I think us in the Afro community, we haven't done anything by force. We haven't forced the new mindset on our community. We haven't forced protection of our community. We haven't forced, you know what I'm saying, creating our own items, bro. Like black folks, we want black TV shows without mass producing black TVs, though. So we want more black TV shows on TV, but we still want to go buy a Roku or a Philips TV though. We don't want to make our own TV. So this goes back
I
to
can't hear you.
nah. What about now?
Maybe
No,
my shit slow. Maybe it's
No,
me.
I
Never
can hear
mind. Go
him.
ahead. I don't wanna break up your
you were
point.
able to
Go
hear me,
ahead.
brother?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Can you hear me, Kay? Oh, say no.
I don't know why my shit.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm finna what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add you back. What about now? How about now? Like Drake said.
I don't know.
I can't hear you now.
Yo, why my
Oh
shit?
yeah, I can hear you. You can't hear me still? Can you hear the other brother? Can you hear
Damn, I can't hear, man.
No,
No.
I can hear you.
Fuck.
I can hear you.
right? All
The
right. Well,
connection's like going in and out though, so it's like I don't know. We're trying to figure out what's going on.
I got the good
I'm
connection.
gonna jump out and jump in. I don't wanna
I'm
fuck the
right next
flow
to
up. Hold
my
up.
router. But
Oh man,
that's how you know
yeah,
they trying to shut us down because we building. You hear me?
yeah, yeah. It's like I wish my thoughts were more collected. I just been out of the loop as far as having conversations like this because we don't really have these kind of conversations that many people with people in general. We don't really talk that much about things of like
Facts.
in depth. Everybody wants to talk about what's going on with TV and what's on social media and stuff like that. So it's like trying to have a real conversation of in deepness is hard.
Yeah,
I
bro.
was trying to make
Appreciate you for joining in with us, man. I'm definitely gonna start building with you. I see, you know what I'm saying? You got great questions and a great mind, bro. And that's what I'm just trying to get around like-minded beings, though. You feel me? Where we can have a safe space for these type of conversations, though. You know what I'm saying? These are
yeah,
thought conversations, but a lot of people don't want to have them because we don't want to really think about what's happening to us in the world. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I also would say another reason why we don't like to have them because nobody likes to want to have to challenge their own ideas is to think of perspective too. Like it because if it can be rot, it's really gonna make you angry. That's why I don't like like it can
She
be
not
hard and I
lying,
don't
man.
like it's a foundation and it makes sense because your life is built upon that foundation. Um and like for me that's why I can find it. I don't mind talking to my brothers and sisters of all walks and stuff. Like a lot of Christians we don't want to talk about these things, but these are issues that we have. We need to be able to talk to people. It can be hard to
Mm-hmm.
talk to a lot of the people who follow the Hebrew Israelites or Kemet. Like I try to talk to them, they rather just make fun of me. They believe that just because I'm Christian, they believe I'm really slow and I don't know anything or like
Yeah,
and
they
that's the
tell you
assumption that
shit
a
like
lot
you
of
stuck in the white man's book and shit. Yeah.
it, I mean but that's why that's why people don't. As soon as you say anything about Christian, they like I'm done. Especially black now it's really coming out. Like you say anything like I'm a black Christian, we done. You not cool no more. We can't talk to you. Like so I'm like I don't want to and I'm not condemning them, but I'd rather talk to somebody and try to give them some knowledge or something, whatever. Um, and I don't agree with force either, but I feel like we should all at least have a conversation so we can just talk. And then people don't want to have conversation. It makes them mad. Like it really does.
I
Like,
agree.
uh,
We don't think it's okay to like change your opinion, and that's all it
mm,
is just our perspective, opinion, and experience. I'm not here to change nobody's experience unless it's
mm,
through these kinds of conversations. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, like, oh, I did think this way, and something that you
mm,
said has me thinking that way or looking into it now. Like Is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Don't make you a follower or unfaithful to your own beliefs or anything like that. That's the
Right.
point, is to
Right.
be able to change your dictum and philosophy. And maybe you can piece it together, and then it'll be something else you don't want to think no more, or the other person's thinking. We got to get in the habit of getting or of pushing ourselves outside the box and trying to
Right.
understand more. Like what you saying, brother, I understand completely, because like my grandfather uses the Bible. Like every time we talk, I talk to him maybe 3 4 days out of the week. Every time we
Right.
talk, it's a Bible reference, and I'm like, before I would be like why do you I don't read this and that, but he starts to explain, and I'm like, okay, like I don't have to strictly go look out for what he's saying, but there's still surface level knowledge that he's giving me that still can apply. It don't matter where the source is coming
Right.
from, because it's still real life situations and things like that. So I understand what you're saying for sure.
I mean, yeah, it's all a foundation, and that's what, like, people, then they speak from it, and that's the thing is, like, I was watching a video about perspectives and stuff. Like, we all, and it is weird, like how when you're born, that whatever perspective you're brought up with, like, it can be hard. Like, no matter what, you may change, like, as far as your walk, but whatever that your parents or something taught you about that foundation, it was found upon. It tends to always gravitate around that. Like, but it's just crazy when you start having this conversation. But, like, again, I wish, I keep my thoughts collected, because I be just everywhere. I think it got something to do with my dyslexia, but, like, I'll be trying to just, like, try to collect my thoughts. But I don't know, because I was trying to go, like, trying to figure out how all this connects with, like, what we were talking about earlier, as far as this, like, he was talking about, and I'm sorry I messed up your name again. I had to get your name again. I just got on here, so, like,
Nah,
No,
yeah,
all
great.
man, yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
definitely
I
yeah,
remember
AK,
AK. I
bro.
remember AK, but
Yep.
July.
what was your social media name again, though?
That's July.
July.
Yeah,
Okay.
created.
We were talking about, like, people just being evil and stuff. Like, I'm just trying to figure, like, like, a point where we were talking about this, like, how it all connected. That's why I was just trying not to lose, like, because people gonna be
Yeah,
watching. They like, y'all kind of, like, went
all
far
over.
from what y'all was even talking about. What y'all
Hey,
talking about?
tell them they better
I
keep
know.
up
No, that's
then.
that's what we trying to get better at too. So that, like, the more we build, we'll be more sticking to the topic at hand. You know what I'm saying?
Organized.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm definitely trying to
Yeah,
get.
probably like writing down like the first point and then the points we make throughout it, and then try to connect it like towards the end and say like, okay, what does all this have to do with each other? So maybe I could try. I think if we talking about evil and we talking about programming and um the fuck was the other word that we use, like hypnotism and shit like that,
Yeah.
that
Mm,
might be, those are, even though it's evil to us, it's evil to us because it don't get us anywhere. So the other people that use these, that go off of these programs, that use their daily functions off these programs, a hypnotism idea or hypnotism what philosophies, whatever, and shit like that,
mm,
that I think that's the real evil, because they're not being true to themselves. They see that it works for that person that's spewing it, and not really for themselves. So then you go out looking for shit like that, and you'll do some evil shit to be successful. Like, let's keep it real. You got, that's why they say, oh, Jay-Z is the Illuminati. That's why this ABC is the Illuminati. Like, people to do some cold-hearted shit for success, not, and in this day and age, not even financial success anymore, to be able to reign over a large group of people, just like the whole sex trafficking thing. Even though there's money involved, like, they still have power, like, over these people's lives and they still have the power to, you know, go home every night at the end of the day, not be investigated. Like the media will tell you that they are, but they have the power to put that out there to make them look, you know, to keep it safe for them and
Right.
shit like that. So
What I was saying,
yeah,
like the evil acts that we see on earth are kind of natural, like they're natural to this earth because, again, like I mentioned, the demiurge rule this universe or this earth. I wouldn't say the universe, but they rule this physical plane we live on. Now, the demiurge, I'm gonna share my screen really quick so we could dive a little deeper, just a little deeper, y'all. We ain't gotta go too deep, but so the
Hey,
demiurge,
you go as deep as you want, man.
yeah. So the demiurge, of course, comes from the Greek word demiurgos, which means public worker. In philosophy, a subordinate god who fashions and arranges the physical world to make it conform to a rational and eternal ideal. Okay,
mm,
Plato adapted the term, which in ancient Greece had originally been the ordinary word for craftsman or artistan. Um, Not only what they say, hold on, let me read that. And which in the 5th century had come to designate certain, what the fuck they say? Elected officials. We gonna go with that. All right, elected officials, y'all. And we see who rules
oh,
this
certain magistration. That's why they say like your majesty and
Your
shit like that.
Majesty. So
Damn.
why? Who gave the Pope power? Us who gave us up to the presidents, bro? Who gave us up to elected officials? You feel me? Who
Yeah.
who put, who
Yeah.
put these people in power? Was it God? You know what I'm saying? Was it who put these people in power and gave them
Yeah,
the,
tell the
the
Pope
right?
especially will tell you like, yeah, the guy, you know, he anointed me
Exactly.
and this and that.
Exactly.
Damn.
So it says the demiurge is the agent who takes the pre-existing materials of chaos and arranges them according to the models of eternal forms and produces all the physical things of the world. Okay?
Damn. Is the agent who takes
Yes. It
pre-existing
says
materials of
the
chaos, arranges.
the demiurge as one of the forces of evil who is responsible for the creation of the despised material world and was wholly alien to the supreme God of goodness. You feel me? So they're basically saying the demiurge who fashioned this universe, the demiurge who fashioned this universe, which was the natural fallen angel, right? What God calls the devil,
Mm.
which just means lived, which means the demiurge always lived here. And the reason why we reincarnate here is because we are attached to evil, or we are attached to living here in this physical realm. We are
Damn.
attached to the devil, which is live. We want to continue to live here on this material plane. We
So
don't want
so
to
yeah,
sacrifice our
like you
spirituality.
said, like who sold us to having the idea that there's gonna be that you have a pope now, you have a president now you have
Right,
police officials now that govern you.
right,
Now you have, you know, mayors, governors and shit like that. You know, that's that's crazy. So they using that rhetoric then.
right.
That's what they're here for. They're strictly here to be the agents to say like, okay, this is, so that's what makes everything going on right now kind of the new world order. Like this is the new group of people that's gonna establish, you know, how Earth's gonna, or how the nation is gonna be in the next 100 years and shit like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Damn.
And see, the funny thing is they're using old world tactics to rule and to move this new world forward.
But even okay, see, that's why I don't get how we can't wake up to that like globally, because you will see like okay in a war that if you look at like old wars and shit like that, you'd be like, oh, like that attack, the way the angle or direction that they're attacking wouldn't work today because we got A, B, C, D. So why the hell is it like, oh, they did this way before and they're doing it again? Like this is not
Mhm.
gonna work. You know what I mean? Like but it's because are there more people that are here to submit to that?
Yes, yes, bro.
Are there
Great.
are there the ones that strictly here to serve that agenda? Like
Listen, what you
maybe
think
like
about
people
this?
that are in Hollywood and shit like that.
What you think about this? The only reason why some souls reincarnate here is because of the attachment and the programming to this material realm. So what do you think about, people be like, you going to heaven and things like that. I don't believe there's a heaven or a hell. I don't believe there's a dwelling place where you stay at for the rest of your life. You either come back here or you move to the next vibration. And if you don't spend this life raising your vibration, family, raising your frequency, how can you become free from this universal frequency we see today? That's why the true goal is to not gain material assets and things, but to gain your spirituality back and to remember who the you are. I did a
They
video.
tried to tell you what the true wealth is having like paper money and materials and shit like that. But you still see some of them today, like oh, like all these cars and houses and money and shit. They don't mean nothing because I still feel this way. Like
Right.
that's on you. Like you already had people submit and bow down to build you to that point, and now you don't know what to do with it because you realize that that's not the true wealth. Like that, you definitely say all the time, like the money and material shit don't determine success, like at all. Like, because you can be rich and still be like a huge fucking failure. Like,
Yeah.
you can still be rich and have whatever you wanted, like suck. You know what I
Yeah, and still be a terrible
mean?
person and shit.
And be still ill-minded and still trying to
We,
get
we
over on
hey,
people.
we see that shit with 50 Cent ass. You know what I'm saying?
Bro
That nigga,
got it all, but still like, you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like,
he wanna talk,
yeah.
he wanna, you know what I'm saying, capitalize off everybody. So, you know what I'm saying, brother? We gotta understand that evil is what's natural to this earth because that's what the people that are ruling this universe are attached to. And these rulers, they know that their time is coming to an end. So if they can continue to get our attention, if they can continue to get the most important currency, which is our attention, we
Mm.
focus on money and materials, guess what? You'll always come back to matter. That's why they want to even give you Black Lives Matter. That's why they want to give you All Lives Matter. Because the root word of matter is what? Ma or material. And if they
Mm.
if they can tell you that this skin matters, you'll want to be that in the next life, correct? So guess where you
What
go?
if they said some shit like just saying what if they said some shit like all souls matter? Then what?
Exactly.
Then what?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. Because then everybody will be like, damn, so where's my soul? What do I have to search for my soul now? And guess what? The soul is on the inside. Your soul is the pure potentiality. So you'll start thinking like, hey, I ain't going to no heaven, hell, or nothing. You just be like, I'm going I'm going to the pure potentiality realm. Because your soul can be whatever you want it to be. So
right.
guess then you'll reincarnate in your next life, maybe as a potential bird or something that's freer than you were here or something. You know what I'm saying?
Hell.
Oh man, that is deep. You just got
Hey,
me.
I might have to start saying that. Pull
I can't hear you.
Number on this one.
Okay,
You hear
yeah,
me?
there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Shit, man. I'm on 3% right now, though. I appreciate you for getting me here in the live stream. You know,
I appreciate you for
we
doing
stream
that.
wherever, man. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and still have the words to
Okay.
actually say, family. This is us. This how we do it over here in the creative native jungle. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Shout out my brother Don Green again, brother. Shout out Green Minds. Shout out my brother AK from the BLAK Association. Just
Can I
saying,
get back into this one?
I really appreciate you, brother, and I'm gonna let you go. We're gonna end the live here. Hey, this was powerful. Let's keep it up, family. Let's keep it up. Much love, brother.
Yep.
Yes, sir.